Hello and welcome to the Carnegie Report. It is Easter time. It is our first autumn edition. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leura Samuel. How are you, Gary?
Very well, Leo. How are you doing? All right?
I'm
busy.
good. We've been busy. It's been an interesting time of year. The media says the market's, with interest rates going up, they're going to come down. But we're selling everything. Wish we had more stock, Gary.
We have. Our biggest problem is not having enough stock. It's an industry issue. It's a buyer issue as well. There's not enough out there. But we had a thumping Saturday, 12 out of 12, 100%. And Sunday was still pretty good, rounding us out to almost 80% for the weekend. So a very strong performance from the team at Gary Peer. Well done to all of our team. And well done to our vendors and those buyers as well.
Multiple buyers, not just one bidding, multiple
lots
bidders.
of multiple buyers weren't there. The industry average was 69%, also not bad at all. So things are still pretty strong out there, and I think people have come to terms with the fact that the interest rates are steadying or steadied, and steadied really at a commercial level. I mean, you were a young fellow in the time that I was paying 17, 18% interest rates. You probably don't even remember those times. You're probably still riding your bike up and down.
Probably with the little, $100 I had tried to put a term deposit at probably 12%.
Exactly right. You would have got that too at those times. But I've got to say that this is still a very reasonable interest rate regime that we're under. It couldn't stay zero forever. And people seem to be coming to terms. For those people that banked on low interest rates and didn't expect an increase, well, they've certainly found things a bit more difficult. But let's talk about some of the properties that we've had. I know that last time we met and we spoke, and there's also some changes happening in the company as well, which we can talk about. But last time we met, we spoke about the Margaret Street apartments that we were very excited, exuberant about. And I think almost half of the block's been sold by now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a great block at 22 Margaret Street, Gary. It's a refurbished block from a local developer of ours that we do a lot of work with.
Yeah, it does a great job.
It's actually quite a unique development because it's a mix between 2 and 3 bedroom apartments. We know how rare it is for 3 bedrooms in sort of the 1960s, 70s type of complexes are. But this is a great refurbishment. And if you're looking for whether we've only got one 3-bedder left and a couple of 2-bedders on the ground floor.
What's the entry price
Entry price from around $565. But great refurbished block, got car parking and all the modern fit out.
That'll get you into there. Let's talk about maybe, I've sort of jumped the gun a bit because I was excited about that project.
Out of order, but that's okay.
Talk about some of the sales that we had, what happened on the weekend, what's happened recently, what have been some of the highlights. Now, I've got to say, we have, maybe we'll just go into the actual discussion about who's joined us.
That's
because
we've
joined, Mr. Murrumbeena has joined our company, he joined with us. He is Christian de Vries, who's been around for a long time. It's great to have somewhat of an icon of the industry having joined our ranks. So welcome, Christian. And already, within no time, he's actually sold the most valuable house in Murrumbeena this year, if I'm not mistaken.
He has. We were entrusted to sell 30 Leura Street in Murrumbeena, so we listed that. That was his listing, and what a beautiful offering to come to the market. We don't often get the brand new or near new homes, Gary. They tend to be on the market for quite some time because no one really buys blocks of land at today's prices, and then with building costs gone through the roof, and landscaping and pool. But this was an offering that came to the market, listed by Christian. And it went really well. We were expecting between 2.5 to 2,750,000 for Murrumbeena, which is what we consider top end for the area.
Well, the price is undisclosed, but it's
around... Oh, no, it's actually disclosed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We can talk about it.
At the upper end, okay.
So we sold it for... we were expecting between 2.5 to 2.75, and we sold it to the local resident for 2,745,000. And it was a great auction. It was a really good to see, give confidence that, there is good demand for good homes like that in the area.
So welcome to Christian, and well done. He's already hit the ground running with a great sale. He's got some beautiful listings. If you want to buy something in Murrumbeena, it's one of the suburbs we always push and recommend because we think it's still undervalued. It's a great area and so much happening around there. Speak to Christian, he's your man. We've also had a couple of other people join us.
Oliver Quinn. Good Scotsman there.
Good Scotty. We like a good Scotty.
Yeah. And very sort of polished salesman. We met him at the Hugo Boss store in Chatston. And I thought, this guy is a fine young lad.
Interesting transition.
Like from the clothing, the rag trade, as we say, into real estate. But great customer service skills, and watch this space with young Ollie.
Absolutely. And we've got another person.
We've got Dylan Rowack as well. A young guy as well. I've known his family for quite some time. Was studying law, wanted a bit of a change, got into real estate, wants to work on weekends. I don't blame him. That's what we don't know. We don't know any different. No. But he's showing his luck in real estate, and he's working very closely alongside myself and my assistant Amanda, and he's going to be a good agent too. Well,
welcome. Some new gun agents have joined our company. It's good to have them on board. Let's talk a little bit about some of our other sales. What else would you like to discuss and let people know what's happening out there?
Yeah, we sold a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit, Gary, at 4 at 164 to 166 Murrumbeena Road in Murrumbeena. Popular offering. We talk of always how great villa units are. This one had the added advantage of having that third bedroom, and it sold for $890,000 on auction day. And congratulations to our vendor and the buyer, but this client who we sold for, very good client of Aviv, and thank you for entrusting us
There
again.
was another record sale we made that Arlene was involved with.
Murrumbeena.
That was it, yes.
Yeah,
Tell
so
us
I
about
auctioned that one. So villa units 3 at 5 Murrumbeena Avenue in Carnegie were sold by an investor client of Arlene. Just shows you, Gary, those villa units are a great place to park money because of the outgoings alone, especially with them without a body corporate manager. That was sort of just an external setup there with insurance. Investor held it for a few years, and that was a very competitive auction. $851,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom villa unit.
It's up there, isn't it?
It's up there in terms of pricing.
I don't know if there's been a higher price paid, but maybe not a better unit or better time to have sold. So congratulations to the seller and well done to the buyer. Clearly bought something special under competition there. Let's go through some other sales.
7 at 93 Truganini Road, Carnegie was a listing of Jack Slater. That was a great auction. I rolled up from doing that auction in Leura Street to that auction, and I couldn't find a car park. Almost had to park around the corner. Couldn't double park in the basement car park. And Gary, it was a bit of the crowd was too big there.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was a competitive auction, sold for $716,000. That was a 2-bedroom apartment with a courtyard. So those those near new apartments with outdoor space like a courtyard will always pull more buyers than usual, and that sold very, very well on the day.
Fantastic. Keep going.
Another one we sold was one before auction at 4 at 1307 Glen Huntley Road in Carnegie. That was a 2-bedroom apartment in a late sort of 70s block as well. Sold for $490,000. Right near Murrumbeena Avenue as well, Gary, and near the old Carnegie Pools, which is going to have a bit of a refurb, and we look forward to getting the swimming pool back in Carnegie soon.
That'll be good. When's that going to be finished?
The plans are out and it's set to go.
Can you use it now? Or
no, it's not.
Shut down.
And that's actually a good segue to talk about the listing. We actually had it 22 to 24 Moira Avenue in Carnegie because David Thompson was entrusted to sell this on behalf of a landlord clients who have had it for a number of years. The auction didn't go to plan and we didn't sell it on the day, Gary. Ended up passing in. It then became private sale at a reserve price, which was sharp. And lo and behold, Gary, 2-3 days later, we had an auction after the auction and we ended up selling it for $1,470,000 to someone that actually didn't see it on the day, but came afterwards and saw great value. So the lesson there is that just because it doesn't sell on the day, sometimes after the event it can happen.
Yep, fair enough. We see that time and time again. The image often is that, it didn't get sold, it's a dead duck or something wrong with it or not desirable. But we see property sometimes pass in, sell for more than maybe the auction even would have brought. So you just never quite know. But look, lots going on in the Carnegie area. There's some good offerings coming up this weekend, of course, a bit quiet given the Easter period and the long weekend and Good Friday and a bit of a break. Busy racing time, but let's talk a little bit about what is happening with the Bombers.
Yeah, I went on Saturday night. It wasn't too bad, I'll talk about momentum. They had momentum and it just fell apart. But
you know what?
Essendon, you Carlton supporter like yourself, you've always had the false hope. Our teams aren't like they are in the 80s now because those days are gone. I thought about it, why? Back in the old days, there's probably only 12 clubs.
It was only 12 clubs
now.
Yeah, so 18 clubs.
That
and
might make
lots
a
of
difference too.
Interstate, well-funded interstate clubs as well. Although they're not that up there. It seems to be all of the Melbourne teams that are doing the best at the moment, barring maybe
But just show the commentators, Geelong, haven't won a game out of 3.
What's going on there?
The prediction there,
That's it, exactly. Who knows?
Throw the tips on, throw the dartboard.
Keeps it interesting. We've got a twilight auction coming up very shortly in Woorail Street in Carnegie. Tell us a bit about it.
This block's also known as the Graham Callan Heights building, very similar to Edgewater Towers in St Kilda. But this is the one in Carnegie because it's a high-rise over 12 stories, Gary, with the infinity pool. And Graham Callan, the specialist, is sold about 15 in there in the last 3 years alongside Dan Dyson. But we got to love a good twilight auction. The views are always good with these apartments. This one's on the 6th floor and that should go well. But we're selling them to a range of investors and owner-occupiers. But people wanting low maintenance, living amongst all the action in Coonang Road.
Tell us about Elimatta.
Elimatta, can't be wrong with that one. It was zoned in McKinnon Zone, the new McKinnon Zone a few years back. And that area's just gone crazy the last few years. 7B Elimatta Road, the client of Darren Crongold. That should go really well, that residence there. It's got great accommodation and it's close to all the action in near Packer Park as well.
High quality listing, that one, as is 11 at 314 Nearham Road.
Modern building, good apartment, 2 bedrooms, affordable entry, good first home buy with those stamp duty concessions available to you buyers. You should check that one out.
We've got a few private sales. Let's run through a couple of them if we can.
A couple we should talk about is the one at 2 Mile End Road in Carnegie. If you're looking for a good house opportunity, this one needs a little bit work, but it's on a good parcel of land and a sort of more of a rectangular block. but it's close to all the action that Carnegie has to offer. But yeah, I think it's a good investment for someone.
Also, Leura Railway Parade, that's a nice address and an interesting looking property.
Yeah, 337 to 38 Railway Parade is actually a really good offering. But, you know, Gary, those days when land was cheap, developers built single level. Now they would have obviously built two-storey to maximise the land component. But this one's a great villa unit nestled at the back. What I like about it too, outside of the bedroom accommodation, it's got a double garage, close to the new Murrumbeena, your favourite coffee shop, Levi in Murrumbeena, Gary. You love that one.
I do.
And that's a good buy. It's currently leased out through our office. If you're looking for a long-term investment or place to live in time, you should check that one out.
Well, there's a few other off-market sales, but if you're interested in checking out some of those or knowing about them, then give Leura a call. He will send you through to the appropriate person that can show you through, welcome you, and hopefully sell to you something that maybe is not out there and well known at all, of which we have a number of them listed here. But we've run out of time for our Carnegie report. Carnegie it is, but we're talking about Murrumbeena and all the surrounding suburbs because there's so much happening in and around the pocket. Things are buzzing in Quinn Road. I don't think there's any vacancies right now. The restaurants are pumping and you go there on a Saturday night. Luckily, there's lots of parking because you need it because there's so much going on and it is an exciting time. We're talking about immigration numbers and coming through in big waves, so that's going to be interesting. Interest rates stabilising. So we think at Gary Peer things are going to start heating up, whether it's later this year, next year, or late next year. We think it's inevitable that this kind of slump, a little bit of a slowdown, maybe a slowdown in the market. It's a good opportunity while everybody's kind of catching their breath before the next price rise. Good opportunity for you as buyers to jump in and swoop on some good opportunity in the market. That's a big wrap for the Carnegie Report. It's good to be able to present to you. Thanks for watching. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel. Have a great time over the Easter break.